Hello, world. Welcome to one of my most favorite places on earth. Actually, been to several, and this part of South Central Pennsylvania. I was born in southwestern Pennsylvania, but this part of South Central Pennsylvania, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I chose this location for a reason. It's actually why we live here. In fact, that's the topic of today's discussion: understanding and knowing our why. And if you don't have a why, you need to get one. Stay tuned. So, understanding our why, that's really kind of why I'm making this video, so that you can understand why I'm into mushrooms and why we need more of you. More of you people that want to be mushroom farmers, more of you that want to get into mushroom farming, more of you that want to make this a healthier, more sustainable world. What you're seeing here, folks, that's not very sustainable. It's large industrial agricultural at its best. And what you're seeing there, that's all feed predominantly for cattle and sheep. Same over there, predominantly feed for cattle, turkeys, chicken, sheep. We got a lot of that in this area. This is the Hardin Mennonite country, after all. And we are located just off the Mason-Dixon line in a beautiful place called Greencastle, Pennsylvania, in Franklin County. So, why here? Why Setas Mushrooms? So start with why Setas Mushrooms. Well, reason why we started Setas Mushrooms is because of my wife. You're going to find out she's an amazing person. And we really got into mushrooms because she suffered a massive stroke. I almost lost the woman in my dreams. In fact, while we were in the hospital, where I found out she had oh shoot, you'd think I would remember the name of the stroke that almost cost the love of my life. But there's two lobes inside the brain, and they are not supposed to be filled with blood. In fact, they're supposed to be filled with clean, fresh air and some other things. Well, unfortunately, where there was air, within the span of one heartbeat, one lobe filled 100% with blood and the other lobe filled 90% with blood. And she didn't even know she had a stroke. She was providing hospice care to an elderly woman, and she felt this sharp pain in her head. She didn't think anything about it. And the older gentleman that was the husband of the lady that she was providing hospice care to noticed that she was slurring her speech and she was acting funny. And so she went to her mother's house, because that's where she'd go after providing care. And she went to go lay down for a nap. Well, her customer care, that the gentleman came over to her mom's house and told her what was going on. They tried to get her out of bed, and they decided to take her to the hospital, and she kind of blanked out when she laid down. She didn't come through for a few more weeks, or a couple weeks. During that time, she didn't even know who I was. And I was just starting my PhD journey. And what does a good PhD student know to do? Research. And so I wanted to research, how could I help her? And I found this DARPA study. I mean, I am a Marine after all. And if you don't know who DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Agency. And they do pretty amazing things, of which I don't like to really be part of, because I'm a pacifist now and I've stopped killing. In fact, I don't even eat anything with a soul. And a lot of that has to do with mushrooms. So I came across this research study that Paul Stamets did. It was a 5-year DARPA study where he found these 5 mushrooms: lion's mane, reishi, chaga, turkey tail, and the fifth one's eluding me at the moment. But in particular, lion's mane. Lion's mane is this white, hairy, in fact, it looks a little bit longer than my stubble growth, but it's a little hairy white mushroom, and it is a neurotropic. It's one of the few substances known to humanity that you can ingest that helps grow brain stem cells. So it literally makes you smarter by eating this one mushroom. But so during this study, he was seeing 10% and 20% performance improvement enhancements throughout the body, the best based upon the type of mushroom. So lion's mane being a nootropic, well, that helped with the brain. And she started feeling the power of lion's mane mushrooms in like a week's time. And in 3 weeks' time, she noticed a remarkable difference in her cognitive functions and recovery from a stroke. In addition to that, we took her to a acupuncturist where he put one needle in between her big toe and the toe next to it. And within 30 seconds, I watched the color come back to her skin. It was absolutely amazing. So natural healing absolutely works. I have anecdotal and scientific proof that it does work. Same for mushrooms. There are substantial scientific research showing the benefits, the cognitive benefits of mushrooms or lion's mane. And there are several other benefits, but we're going to stick with lion's mane for right now. And that's really why we got into mushrooms, is because it helped my wife recover from her stroke. And when she realized how powerful it was, also how expensive it was, she decided she wanted to grow her own mushrooms. And that's really our why of how she got into mushrooms, is she wanted to save a little bit of money because we were paying like $35 for a 30-day supply of mushrooms in supplements, little pill format. And by the way, Setas Mushrooms, we can sell you a 2-ounce package of that for $20 and we'll ship to your house. $25. Anyways, so we got into growing mushrooms. Or at least Kat got into growing mushrooms, and you should have seen her first farm. It was so short, she could only stand up in between the pallets. In fact, it was her first mushroom farm was made out of pallets. I couldn't stand up at all. She's like 5'4" at best, and I'm 5'10" and a half. So I was always hunched over. Actually hurt my back for being in there, which was nice for her because it gave her her solitude, her alone time, her alone space, which when you're recovering from a stroke, it's kind of what a person needs. They need to be given the right amount of support, but not too much, not too little. Recovering from a stroke is not easy. In fact, she still is going through that, and that was over 5 years ago, just this past April. We're now in the middle of June, coming up on our 5th year anniversary for being married. Boy, that 5 years has been an amazing ride, and that's actually kind of goes to our why mushrooms and why mushroom farming, why Setas Mushrooms. Well, she was enjoying growing mushrooms so much, and I was enjoying watching her grow as a person, that I became involved a little bit, and I asked her if she was interested in going larger and selling at farmers markets, and she did. Well, as soon as she made her first dollar, she was hooked. She was ready to go sell more. And that's where we started to grow Setas Mushrooms and how we got to that next level. And you're going to find that really we've grown it into an operation that's capable of producing a ton of mushrooms a week. And we can expand from where we currently are to that ton of mushrooms And the only thing difference we have to do is buy some substrate. But our why? Well, you found out about why we're going to do mushrooms, or why we got into mushrooms, and why Setas Mushrooms. Well, a little bit more about why Setas. Got my MBA in '06. Since then, I've been looking for the right industry to be in. And I'll tell you what, as I look out here, this is the right industry. And the reason why, agriculture is ready for massive innovation, technological innovation. And we at Setas, we have a vertical indoor mushroom farm. Right now, it's only 5 or 6 levels. It's going to be much higher. It's going to be automated. It's going to have artificial intelligence in it, telling us when we have trichoderma or mold. It's also going to have artificial intelligence watching over our birds. Let me know whenever our birds are egg bound. So we have a lot of innovation in store in agriculture, and I think you're going to love what you see. I know I do. The world is an amazing place. And doesn't matter where you are in the world, you could be affected by another part of the world. Like right now, we're feeling a lot of smoke from Canada. It's not really a big world, folks. It's kind of a small world. I've been all around it, pretty much from north to south and east to west. And I chose this place in particular because really, the United States is one of about 5, 6 countries that's poised to succeed in the future. And agriculture, it's going to go through a major shift. With the war in Ukraine and Russia right now, the world is getting ready to lose a substantial amount of its agriculture. Almost dropped the phone. It's also getting ready to lose a substantial amount of potash, meaning potash is used for soil, for fertilizer, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Well, that's what potash is used for. 80% of the world's supply comes out of Ukraine. Guess who's not going to have potash this year? And really, our mushroom compost, we're poised to launch. We're going to take our compost to the moon and to Mars. And I know how we're going to get there. How do I know we're going to get there? Well, I used to work at some of those little 3-letter and 4-letter agencies that shoot satellites and rockets up in space. And I plan on making a satellite out of mycelium and launching it into space within 2 years' time. So, pretty exciting times. And really, I think one of the biggest innovations I want to tell you about, I'm running out of battery, but this is the important one. It's what we're gonna do now, between now and where we get to and go to Mars. We're gonna do that by selling coffins. In fact, we're gonna sell living coffins. And my coffin, which we're in the middle of regrowing right now, means, yes, you heard me correct. We are regrowing my coffin. Last week we put it into the wood chipper, and this week, well, I gotta find a new form factor for it so we can grow multiple coffins, because really, living coffins is the way to go. And the reason why it's the way to go, we have to stop burying people in chemicals. And that stuff they pump into your body called formaldehyde, yeah, we have to stop doing that. We're killing the environment. It's hard to grow when we kill the soil, folks. We're killing the soil through chemical fertilizers, and that's another reason why mushroom fertilizer, that's the way to go, folks. It really improves the soil conditions of our crops. And you're going to get to see that firsthand this year, as we've already sprayed some of our crops with our mushroom compost and liquid mushroom compost extract. So we plan on bringing this to the masses within the region. We can't do it alone. In fact, success never comes alone. That's one of the reasons why we're going to be successful here. Is I got a great team behind us, and we got a great CEO, Kat McKenzie. And our team, who you'll get to meet over time, They are phenomenal. They are making shit happen here at Setas Mushrooms. And really, that's the only shit at Setas Mushrooms. We do not grow anything in poop, diarrhea, or any of that other stuff, or whatever you want to call it. All of our substrate, or all of our compost, is made from our mushroom substrate, which is predominantly made from what they call master's mix. Shout out T.R. Davis. Thank you for providing that nomenclature to the rest of the world there, Devil Dog. As well as we take our master's mix substrate and our shiitake substrate and other mushroom substrates, dump that into a pile where we aerate it. And we can get compost within like 3 weeks' time. Pretty amazing stuff. Those are just two of the various revenue streams. You know, selling fresh mushrooms, selling agar, selling fruiting blocks or grow kits. Those are all revenue streams. But the biggie, that's going to be our alternatives. And right now, our coffins, I'm really proud of. We're also going to have pet urns, as well as urns that you can take someone's ashes from when they were cremated, put them in the urn, and then have that person live on for another 200 years. Speaking of living on for another 200 years, as you see, I've come back to civilization, got a power line, so unfortunately we're coming to the end of my favorite place in the world. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I don't want to ramble on too much, but that's our why. Hope you understand it. Hope you like it. If you like our why, please give us a like. I'd really appreciate it, and we hope you have a beautiful day. Take care, all.